I wanted to thank Julia and the organizers. Cordell, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can confirm that you are live right now.
Okay, perfect. So then I'll start my presentation. Okay, so then I wanted to thank Julia and the organizers for giving me the opportunity to present my work here. I am a postdoctoral fellow at the Northwestern University, and I am starting a project which really looks at the neural correlates of dream yoga and its effects in different psychological measures. I'm going to explain to you a little bit what Tibetan dream and sleep yoga is, because I think it's not something that is very well understood or very well known. I'm going to go a little bit deep on the different concepts that they use and why this is important in the long term for mental health. I will talk a little bit about some the proposed mechanisms, and my project has two parts. I don't think we will have time to go to both parts, so I'll just give you an overview of what I'm going to be doing first, and then I'll start because we don't have a lot of time. So, okay. So the Tibetan dream yoga comes from the one tradition of the Dzogchen lineage. That means that before, but it was the religious indigenous religion in Tibet before the Buddha was born. So they've been practicing a lot the dream work. The premise is to train yourself on whatever you want to do, mainly spiritual purposes, in the dream, and then transpose all the insights that you obtain in the dreams and put them in the waking life. So the purpose of these practices is really to integrate lucidity and flexibility in every moment of life. But most importantly, it helps you to relinquish conditioned reactions and behaviors, which are a lot of the times cornerstone for mental health issues or psychiatric disorders. So the objective is to understand that waking life is as unreal as the dream, and the dream is as real as waking life. So in a context, everything is an illusion. And this is very important because dream practice and sleep practice is not only practiced by Tibetan Buddhists or with these lineages. There's many different cultures that have been practicing this for millennia, like the Taoism, Hinduism. Even in the Mexican culture, there's the Toltecs and the Mayans have been working for this for many years. And well, the purpose. I'm going to focus mostly in the Tibetan dream yoga, so I'm going to talk about the concepts of the Buddhist traditions or philosophy or religion. You want to see it, the purpose of most of the Buddhist practices is to attain enlightenment or liberation from conditioned reactions. So the idea is to really increase awareness during the day, but then we know that we sleep for 35 years in our lifetime. So there's a lot of time that we spend in our dreams, and where we are, well, there's debate about if you have consciousness or not consciousness, but definitely we're not aware of. Sometimes you dream, but you're not aware that you're dreaming. So having these 35 years, you can use them as a practice for a spiritual purpose or to attain enlightenment. So the idea is to sustain this for day and night. For this, is very important to realize that there's a different concept. So you have karma, and I want to explain a little bit because this is very important to understand where this is going. So karma just means action, but what is important is to know that the actions lead to karmic traces, that they remain in the mental consciousness, and then they influence how you react in the future. This in Western psychology is known as tendency of the unconscious, and is really when you have you start doing the duality of things, right? Like you have things that you like, that you dislike, right, left, right or wrong, yin and yang, and that leads you to something, a grasping or aversion, something you like or you dislike. Really, all of these grasping and aversion leads to suffering. And this suffering, what really happens is that you start reacting with these conditioned reactions, and it makes you react And that will create another karmic seed that will like perpetuate this wheel of action and reaction until you actually bring awareness to it and start kind of like deconditioning your behaviors, your rigidities, and everything that you have been kind of teaching yourself to react to. Yeah, so then this is like the wheel of samsara, the image that the Tibetans use to show how things keep perpetuating and we're in this wheel. So then the understanding of this karma is used in dream work. So then they use it to really conduct it to spiritual practice and to attain liberation or to get enlightenment. So the practice of dream and sleep yoga really gives us the method to burn all these karmic seeds and use our dreams to actually work on that and not just waking life. Yeah. So once you've been training for dream yoga, so just to clarify, dream and sleep yoga, so they're like two different practices. We're going to start talking just about dream yoga. The practice of dream yoga naturally takes you to lucid dreaming. So it's just like something that develops naturally because you are training during the day and at night you start having much more awareness of your state, and it leads to have a lot of lucid dreams. And then once you have a lucid dream, the practice of dream yoga really asks you to transform the boundaries that we have in the physical life, like in waking life, that you don't have in the dream. So you can change the size, you can change the quantity, the quality, the speed, you can transform things or accomplish, like have a career, fly, or you can do a bunch of things. But the idea is to really teach your mind to have all this flexibility so you can actually transpose it in waking life, because the mind becomes very flexible. So then, well, you have the vision. I'm going to talk about the different domain of integration of the Tibetan dream yoga and the sleep yoga. So you have a vision, usually waking life, and then you go to the dreams. And in the dreams, you have different cycles of sleep. The Tibetan really recognize, but they use the dream yoga to work in waking life, would be the vision. Then working in the dream, which usually is when you have lucid dreams and you transform things in your dreams. Then there's another level where they really try, like one of the objectives of practicing dream and sleep yoga is also to be aware when you die. So like having this transition from life to death with awareness. This is something that I'm not concerned as of right now for this project. So I'm actually not going to talk about that. And the next part, so I'm erasing it from the different levels. And the other part, which is concerned, is mostly something of sleep yoga, is the clear light. So this is the part where actually you have no, there's no me and you, there's no duality. So you are actually in a moment where everything disappears. There's no object, there's no subject, there's no you, there's no me, there's nothing. So like they're called clear because there's nothing. It's really like the absence of absolutely everything, and light, because it's when you get enlightened. So this is kind of like a taste of enlightenment that you can have, and this happens during the dream. And it happens when we sleep, but we're not aware of it. So the Tibetans and other cultures really practice to witness this or have this experience of the clear light during sleep. So then this just to show you very quickly the different stages of sleep. So when we sleep, we're awake, we fall into sleep, and you have usually the dreams in REM sleep. And it's hypothesized that the slow in clear light it's happening in the slow wave sleep. So then this is where in the slow wave sleep is where, let's say, we have the unity and unconditional love has actually manifested at its best because everything is one. Okay, so then I wanted to talk a little bit about the proposed mechanisms, because I mentioned that it could have very important implications for mental health in the future. So, well, we know a lot of how meditation works because there's a lot of research on mindfulness and how it works, like the mechanisms in the brain and psychological mechanisms. Now, I propose mechanisms for dream yoga is that it will it will help with heavily conditioned emotions, change unconscious reactions, modulate emotional reactivity, and cultivate memory and joyful effort. And this is, as I mentioned, like mindfulness works in at many of these areas, and dream yoga brings, I think, it's a deeper form of meditation. It's advanced form of meditation. So the hypothesis is the benefits could be potentially not greater, but more important in different mental health issues. So I don't want to go there. We can discuss about of which ones and everything. But I think for the interest of time, I'm just going to. 5 minutes remaining. Sorry. What? All right. I'm just gonna hurry. Okay. So then, just quickly to tell you about the project that I'm working on. As I told you, there's two different parts of the project, but just to show you right now, what we're planning to do is to really have experienced dream yoga and sleep yoga practitioners, bring them to the lab and really see how the neural correlates. I'm not going to go in more detail because I don't have time, but I'm happy to chat with whoever wants to know more about exactly what we're doing. We're going to do it with an electroencephalogram, and we're going to do many different assessments. And we are going to do some tasks of mind wandering, mindfulness, attention, and consciousness with the physiological measures, with the polysomnography, and really try to understand what's happening in the brain and the neural correlates really of dream and sleep yoga. So just really quickly to conclude is, we're aiming to develop a dream yoga program where we are going to measure like the benefits, assess these effects in wakefulness and different stages of sleep, and we will do microphenomenology interviews so we can actually have a fine-grained detail of qualitative experiences. And well, if the positive results in this project could lead to implications for mental health. And then that's it. Thank you very much. I don't know if anyone has any questions. And I don't know if you can actually ask questions. I'm very new to this system, but
if we have questions, we should bring them to the main lobby chat and
okay.
Ask there.
Okay, so then should I close this?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you. Have a lovely day, and thank you for listening.